All right, so back to talk about the challenge. This season has proven to be very interesting, but the gameplay, some of the choices being made, all right, so recap. Natalie went home. She had a personal matter to deal with. I think I saw later on that she was pregnant. Ashley's back in the game. CT, Big T won by 5 seconds. The challenge house vote was Anissa and Leroy. Devin and Tori were compromised. Big T and CT sent them in, and Tori and Anissa had to face off. It was a girls' elimination, and Tori went home. Anissa decided to take back Fessy, much to Fessy's dismay. He's definitely not happy about it, which kind of brings me joy. Casey took back her OG partner, Leroy, and Devin's a rogue agent. All right, so this episode starts with Teresa playing both sides, and she is definitely caught up in it. She's close with the vets and the rookies, so she's that middle person, and it's just rubbing the vets the wrong way. Specifically, Nany seems to be the one that sparked it all. It's obvious they're still not good. I remember watching older seasons and seeing them clash and go against each other. There's no trust with Teresa, and Lolo kind of confronted it. I kind of feel like it had nothing to do with Lolo, but surprisingly Lolo was very calm in this conversation, and Teresa was careful because she knows that Lolo blows up. There was a very emotional segment with Leo and his wife. I think his wife is pregnant, and he was really struggling staying in the house, and it was taking a toll on his mental health. And that was apparent, and I felt bad for him, and I totally understood where he was coming from, that he decided he wanted to go home. It wasn't for him, and just at this point in his life, it's too difficult to be away from his wife, his family, and the game really does take its toll on you. So he ultimately did what was best for him, and that's really all you could ask for. It was definitely very admirable. Multiple people spoke out about how it was a good choice and how you have to take care of your health. I think TJ spoke about it, Cam spoke about it, Leroy. I saw the whole aftermath little episode on YouTube as well, and it discussed it as well. Since Leo left, Gabby is paired up with Devin, and she says that Devin is definitely a different partner than she's used to, but you know, he's a vet, so yeah, definitely different. Devin made a comment that they are the most attractive pair ever on the challenge. Leave it to him to always, you know, say one of those confident responses. So the challenge this week was Smuggle Run, and it was basically a 5-mile race with little challenges within it. It was pretty much a mini final, and this gives a pretty good idea as to, I guess, how you would do in a final, which is tricky. Do you show all your cards now, or do you hold back? If you're in a good position and you know nobody's going to put you in, do you hold back and not show all your cards? I guess it totally depends. Big T definitely not happy about the 5 miles. CT not happy either. I definitely see him soon trying to get a new partner. Jay and Teresa were definitely struggling in the beginning, but then they really got it together. Communication truly was key, and it was definitely harder when there was a huge height difference when it came to carrying whatever that thing was. Amber B and Darrell early on were doing pretty well. Devin and Gabby and CT and Big T were at the end of the pack. They were in last place in the beginning. Then Anissa and Fessy dropped to last. Fessy definitely was not happy about it because he always wants to win, and Anissa just wasn't stressing it. She was like, we don't have to win this, so deal with it. Ashley killed that number puzzle. You could tell she likes all those nerdy math games, and she even said it that she practices on her phone and that others should do the same if they want to do well. But I feel like that's something you have to like to play games of it. But if you're on the challenge and you know that you have to do math in certain challenges, I would think you would practice. I would think. Ashley and Corey really dropped the ball when they went the wrong way after completing that puzzle first, because then it allowed Jay and Teresa to catch up to them and take the lead. So yeah, I'm sure they're really kicking themselves over this. It's just a mistake that happens. You just really have to pay attention and make sure you're not going the wrong way, because it could cost you your challenge life. So yeah, ultimately Jay and Teresa hold that lead and were able to take the win. It was close, but they were able to hold off Ashley and Corey, which is unfortunate for Ashley and Corey. Lolo and Nam, that was a big part of this episode as well. They are clashing. There's no communication there. They're just not able to relate to one another, and it's really hurting them, because them individually are probably extraordinary, but together they just can't make it work. And Lolo's really upset about it. He's upset about it, and it's just like two very stubborn people, and it's just, I feel bad, but I was really rooting for them, you know, to have a romantic thing going on, to make it work. But if they can't make it work like this, I don't think they could make it work romantically. So Tori left, so now Fessy's really trying it with Gabby. I know we did see him try it with Gabby while Tori was still in the house, because obviously Tori at that point was still engaged. So, but you know what? I like how Gabby keeps him on his toes. She's a smart girl and she doesn't really give into it. He's trying it, and he's gonna have to keep on trying it. She puts him in his place. She called him arrogant, which he is. So Ashley was very paranoid that she was gonna go in, and I do not blame her, obviously. Her paranoia was justified, even though she was still surprised that it was leaning that way. And, you know, you just have to trust your gut sometimes. Yeah, sometimes you're paranoid and it's really not that warranted, but yeah, Teresa and Jay wanted her in, so her paranoia was for good reason. So when it comes to the house vote, Leroy tells everyone that he is not voting Ashley in. Ashley's like, I didn't know it was an option. And, you know, like, girl, you've been paranoid, so you probably shouldn't be that surprised. But she gave a good speech, and she was bringing up great points, but I don't think anybody really was listening. I think at that point, everybody had made up their mind. And there was a lot of people that wanted to burn their vote because they didn't want to vote for Ashley, and that ended up hurting her because they're just burning their vote and not putting their votes in the same place. Ultimately, Ashley and Corey were still compromised. Even CT voted for Ashley, which I was a little surprised about, but he knows that the people that win see how the vote goes because he won last week. So he knows that they're going to see if he lied to their face. So ultimately, he had to do what they wanted because they were going to see how his vote went. Teresa and Jay were obviously ecstatic that they got their way. Ashley's going in, which, I mean, Ashley going in is a great thing for Teresa. For Jay, not so much. Guys obviously want to have strong females in the end because you're going to have to be paired up with these people, and if they're not up to your standards, then your chances are not as great. So Teresa went up to Cam and said, hey, if you want to go in against Ashley, I'll totally put you in. Like, if it's a headbanger or something, like, just let me know and I'll put you in. But I'm not going to put you in without telling you. When she said that, I was like, this girl's lying. Like, she's going to put Cam in no matter what. I just don't know why she would go about it in this way. Why not just be upfront and be like, hey, I'm voting you in? You know, like, when Jay didn't even tell them either. So then Cam and Leroy are upset at Jay as well because Teresa didn't want him to say anything, so he didn't. So that just puts him in a bad position when next week it's going to be a guy's elimination. So thinking very short term. Ashley and Corey were shook that they were compromised. I don't know why. Guess nobody let them know, which also sucks. Like, just let them know, you know. I know they want them to be caught off guard, but again, just a little too caught off guard, I think. Like, I would have expected it, considering what Leroy said when it came to the house vote. So Teresa and Jay, of course, decided they didn't want to go in, so they voted in Cam and Kyle. Cam never said she wanted to go in, so she's obviously upset. Jay and Teresa definitely made a lot of enemies this week. But then again, Teresa was already in a position where they wanted to get rid of her, so I get it, where she's just like, I have to do something. They're going to come after me either way. TJ's so funny. He was like playing around saying like, this is an important elimination for the guys. And the guys are like, Corey and Kyle are like, what? To watch the females go against each other. He's so funny. So the elimination was dead ringer, the whole Peter Pan type of competition. I was watching the aftermath thing, and Jay was like, because Jay was on it, Cam was on it, Leroy was on it, and Jay was like, well, I was going to tell you how to win it, but then there's Leroy, then mad at me, like yelling at me that they're coming after me. So yeah, but I wanted you to win, like really, and the only reason I didn't tell you was because my partner didn't want me to. This elimination actually looks really hard. It's all about rhythm, and once you get into that rhythm, it's good. Cam just got that rhythm faster. Ashley was struggling. She was just moving around and kind of aimlessly. It just was not her competition. I think she was just so upset too that it really took over when Cam was really in the zone, really focused on herself and what she was doing in that moment. Ultimately, Killer Cam, Peter Panned her way to the win. And Ashley goes home for a second time this season, which sucks. I feel bad for her. She obviously wanted to succeed, but you know, she's Millionaire Mitchell. She has the money. But yeah, she definitely knows that this was not her season. She was lucky that she got to come back. This was Cam's 10th win, so Killer Cam is definitely dominating. I would not want to go against her in an elimination. Teresa and Jay messed up, and they're gonna pay the price for it. They lied and weren't honest about what they were doing, and I think that's the worst part. Like, if you want to make the moves for your game, just do it, but I don't know. But people obviously don't like being lied to, so they're gonna react a certain way. So Cam got her gold skull and got to decide if she wants to change partners or stay with Kyle, and I kind of thought that she would change partners. Kyle was like, please, please, please. You could see it in his face, like, don't leave me. And, you know, she decided to stay with Kyle, which was a very loyal choice, and I admire that. I think it's smart for her and Leroy to stay separated. I know it's probably difficult when you're in a relationship with someone like that you probably would like to work with them because you work well with them, but I think them being separated covers more ground and helps them numbers-wise. I liked Leroy's comment that he's like, it's really weird when all the guys want your girl as their partner. And it's true, they all want her. CT even wanted her. I don't know why CT didn't take her from the beginning. That was just a poor choice. So next elimination will determine Corey's partner. He's a Black Widow. He keeps losing partners. Just can't keep one. Hopefully the next one will stick for him, at least for a bit. Next episode seems like we'll see some more drama because, I mean, it's the challenge. Looks like it involved Fessy, Josh. So I guess we'll see. That's the end of my recap and reaction to this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and don't forget to like and subscribe.